Alright peoples, we're going to go on ahead and take the Skydio 2 Plus. This video is the after update video, so I'm going to take it to the same course I've been taking it to before, and we're going to go on and do the keyframe test, see how it does. This video is going to be more for Skydio. I'm going to give Skydio this video so they can help me improve the flight on this drone in general for the consumers. And let's go.
Alright, we got the Skydio 2 Plus Sports Kit here. We got the Skydio 2 controller here, right? We're going to get the Samsung Note 9 Plus. I'll show you guys. Oh, it's the Note 9. The two buttons here on the top of the controller, and I'm talking about this button and this button. Those buttons in particular do not work while using the drone with the Android device. Caution, height floor is disabled. So we're going to go to the options. Height limits, let's see here. Height floor. Okay, so I have that turned off. The height ceiling, I'm going to make it, wow, well, I got it to 30 feet. I'd like to be able to lower that height ceiling so that this drone doesn't go much higher when I'm doing the keyframes, but we'll see how it behaves. Alright, this part of the video, I went and hyper sped this thing up. This is the keyframe video. This is me setting all my keyframes. You guys can see here. You see the keyframes are pretty much, I kept it centered in the middle of the trail system. And I don't think I went over maybe about 6 or 7 feet in elevation. Maybe a little bit higher at some points. But anyways, I want you to look at how it's tracing. And then soon here in a little bit, we're going to end up going over the part where we play it back, but I'm going to do it keyframe by keyframe. I will skip up to about 5 keyframes at a time to watch how it behaves. Now on this part of the video, when we actually play it back, I want you guys to watch how it behaves, and I'm gonna do a little bit of commentary on it, on what type of features we could possibly get with the playback part of the whole keyframes. All right, this is one of the spots. I skipped a couple of free keyframes. It went straight up in the air and when this got itself right in this spot, and then it got stuck. So if we can have the option where we can select where we want the drone to go specifically, how we want it to navigate the editing process, because I'm assuming this is like an editing process. Hey, do we want it to follow the path no matter what, and allow us to adjust the speed as far as how fast it'll fly? And that would be a cool feature to get. But something I've noticed with the keyframes, after a certain point, guys, the keyframes look like they shifted on their own. So this section right here, the video where you guys are looking, the Skydio kept going to the right. You see how it's arching up and down like this? You see that? I don't know why it's doing that. And then you see it's like the Skydio was almost forcing itself to go higher. And then the camera was turning this way. You guys saw in the video when I was setting the keyframes. And look, it got stuck again because it kept going up to the right. Well, in this part, it would be to the left. I don't know why. It's like all the keyframes. You see all the keyframes? They're now shifted into the tree line. That's not how I had set them up the first time. So I don't know if that's something you guys can improve on. But that was horrible. I was, coming back the first 2 times I've done this same video at the same location, then drone kept going off to the side. Like, you see how the keyframes are now buried into the tree line? I don't know why that happens. I don't know how you guys could improve that. Actually, you see it's stuck again. But that's something that it just made my experience horrible. I'm just telling you, it was so horrible. I was just pulling the hair out of my head, even though I have a cap on my head. It was very stressful. And then I went on ahead and I think I landed it here. Oh no, I didn't land it. But look at this keyframes. They're like completely disorganized. Oh, it's just bananas. But anyways, I think I've shown you guys enough. And then, like I said, if we can get a triple tap on the red button on the beacon, and same thing on a controller, the home button, if we get a triple tap, stop the drone in sight, wherever it is, and make it hover, that'd be great. All right, so what exactly did you guys just watch? Well, you watched me take the Skydio 2 Plus for a keyframe flight. This is after the March 29th update. It did pretty well, actually. It did better than I thought it was going to do. So I went on ahead, and there's an elevation, there's a height ceiling that you can create. As lowest is 30 feet. I put it at 30 feet. And I disabled the feature where it'll allow the drone to go lower than just 8 feet high, because there's like by default there's an 8-foot limit on how low the drone will actually fly. I disabled that to allow it to get about 3 feet off the ground, 3.5, 4 feet off the ground. Anyways, it did pretty well. What I found out was during keyframing, remember I told you guys that instead of pressing the play button so that it can go through the keyframes, keyframe by keyframe by keyframe, and I would just skip keyframes. So if let's just say you have 30 keyframes, and I'm at 30 right now, I'm at the very last keyframe, and I wanted to go to 27. Well, if I click on keyframe 27, it's not going to be numbered 27, but let's just say I click on a 27th keyframe while we're sitting at 30, it will automatically try to gain elevation to quickly go to keyframe 27. Now, if you guys can go on and make an option where instead of it doing that, it will just follow the keyframe sequence from 30 to 27 instead of trying to quickly go to the next one. If we can get an option that will allow us to say, hey, I wanted to do it like that, or I wanted to hurry up and get to whatever keyframe I select. In this case, it would be keyframe 27. That was something that I saw that was like, it was driving me crazy, because I can't find, a quick way to just stop it, because when it does that, in the situation that I was in, and I understand that you guys say that it is not the type of environment that's best for the Skydio, but it's not about the environment in this case, it's more about the performance. If I want to do a keyframe video coming from in my house to my garage and going outside, I may run into that same problem. I may skip keyframe or accidentally, because if you have 30 keyframes on your screen, then when you look at the playback, they're all going to be really, really close to each other. So that's why I feel like that's important to have as far as that feature goes. Of if I skip from keyframe 30 to 25, I at least have the option before maybe I even can select those. And you guys could pick anywhere in the option menu where you want to set that. But if we can get the option to have it follow the keyframe path and not worry about hurrying up to get to whatever keyframe I select, that'd be perfect. I actually tried to fly it backwards, so I did the keyframe sequence where it was flying backwards. Once again, could the speed limit of the keyframe session in general, if I select I want it to go keyframe by keyframe, even though I just went from 30 to 25, if I went from keyframe 30 to 25, if I select 25 and we're at 30, it quickly goes, right? Well, if I have it follow the sequence and set the speed limit for that sequence as far as it hurrying up and go, if that'll be an option you guys can add, that'd be great. Allow us to have the speed, to set the speed for the drone if we actually do the normal keyframe playback with the play button, or if we're just kind of like, you can call it editing, or how you would go from keyframe 30 to 25. I keep using that as an example because it's easier. So when I skip it from keyframe 30 to 25, if we can get a speed limit option on that, and if we can have the option for it to go keyframe by keyframe, or if you just wanted to skip like you guys have it set by default right now as of April 4th or 6th or whatever date, the 7th of 2022. I did the playback. I had it fly backwards during playback, and it actually kept the speed limit. That was great. I thought at first it wouldn't do it because I was doing the skip from 30 to 25 keyframe. It actually kept its speed, the speed limit that I set, 0.2 miles an hour. It actually did that for me when I pressed the playback button. I'm just scared to press the playback button because I don't want it to get committed to doing the keyframe video that I had just set all the waypoints for, and then it somehow gets stuck in something and I can't stop it quickly. So once again, if you guys could do the triple tap on the red button, the controller, if we could get maybe a triple tap on the home button, that'd be great. And triple tap on the home button will literally stop the drone wherever it's at. Just stop it and let it hover in place. Wherever it is, just immediately stop. If we get a triple tap on the red button here, just 3 quick tap, 1, 2, 3, to stop the drone in place. And same thing on the phone screen. If someone's just flying with the phone and they're doing like keyframes and they only have a phone, they don't have a controller or anything like that, or actual beacon, they don't have the beacon or the controller and they're using just their phone, maybe a button somewhere that's big enough that's always around that you could just triple tap it real quick and it'll stop the drone. That would be perfect, perfect, perfect. Hopefully this video helps. And I don't know where I'm gonna upload this video at, but that's gonna be all for now. See you later. Peace.